then F8 gets me back out of that mode. Now say I want more points, because it only gives me a limited amount of points of what this geometry offers, then what I need to do is rebuild this geometry to make it more intensified so I actually have more points. And the way you do that is, so any of these, so I can select this geometry. I'm just going to shrink it all down to this little giant right now. F fits it on the screen, so if you ever lose your piece or it's too small, if you just hit F, it just brings it back on the screen. So the way you rebuild this is you go, remember this is a NURB surface, you go to Edit NURBS, Rebuild Surfaces, and then you click on the little box, and then you could tell it to rebuild in whatever direction you want. You could do both. Right now it's U and V, or if you want to just rebuild in one way, you could select one of those. So that's pretty high. We'll rebuild it just a little bit less. So I'll rebuild at 26. So you can see how the geometry has smoothed out. Right? It's more refined. So now if I hit that F8, I actually have even more points, and I could work on it even further locally. I could start to do more local deformations like that. So you could imagine how this could really get fully sculpted, you know, and it won't look like anything even remotely close to a sphere, right? I could create a whole form based on this. Mm-hmm. So just undo. Oh, by the way, Z is undo. If you hit Z. And when you first open the computer, your Z's, you only have 50 undos. So you need to change that. So the way you change that is you go to Window, Settings and Preferences, and then down here where it says Undo, you click on that. And then you want to change that to infinite. Mine's already on this in my attributes, but yours will only be on 50. So you just want to click on the infinite. So that means that you could undo forever. Okay. So basically what I did, so I had this geometry, and I wanted to smooth it out and rebuild it. So I went to Edit NURBS, Rebuild Surfaces. I clicked on the little box, and I made a number here. I could do it even more refined. So, I mean, I could go all the way, you know. It gets heavier, as you imagine. Where'd it go?
Is it limited?
It left. That was weird. Is it limited? Yeah, I think there's a limit to how far you could go. Pretty much you could pull that to the end. So I don't know what, 100? But I have no idea why it disappeared. That is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Where is it? Whoa.
It's gone.
It's gone. That's unusual. The program's weird. I mean, it does really strange stuff sometimes that is unexplainable. Maybe it doesn't like that number.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Does it like that number?
Yeah.
Maybe it likes that one. Just exploded. And then, so I did that. And then to activate those points, I hit the F8 button. Mm-hmm. And then I could work either on, you know, I could select one or multiples, and I could start, you know, deforming it in different ways. Really ugly things. You know, I'm doing it very randomly. Obviously, you could do this really carefully and neatly. And sometimes it actually helps, because I'm pulling just on everything. If you put it back in wireframe mode, so you go to press 4, you can actually see what you're doing. You know, the 4 button.
Oh.
Yeah, 4. Then you know that what you're actually, because you can see behind it. Otherwise, you can't really see much. So then F8 gets me out of this mode again. 6 gets me back to shaded, and there's my. Kind of looks like one of your components.
Excuse me. If I just rotate or stretch too much, could they have the whole surface? Or like
It will never break.
Oh, because your maps have something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So if you could stretch it endlessly, like all the way?
Mm-hmm. Maybe like.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think it breaks. I've never tried. Because it's a continuous surface? Maybe a polygon it will break? I don't know. So that's your basic manipulation of a simple geometry. Now, most likely you're not going to start with a sphere and deform. I mean, you might, but you're probably not going to design anything based on a sphere. You're probably going to make your own form. And the way you make your own form is by creating your own surface based on making your own curves, right? And you could either skin between curves or you could extrude between curves. And what we're going to do, we're going to actually extrude, but I'm first going to show you the loft tool, which is also very common in